Today is December 10th, 2023. December 10th, 2023. Now, it's actually got a little better today. Today I went to Trinity Gospel. Um, okay. Let my tapes play on low. And I know the people with the login, when they're driving by, they can hear it because it goes through their speakers. Okay. Because my phone's tapped. I go out and I take my client home out in North Canton across the street. Some guy gets in a black vehicle. He said, "Boy, I feel bad about everything. I found the tape of where they said they made everything up on her before. I feel horrible." He gets in the car. Okay. So I go out and I go to my second job. I pick up my client. We go out and it's actually nicer. We go in and we eat. And some guy, when we go to leave, he's on the phone with someone. He said, "I was paying for this today." He said, I told everybody I didn't find anything. This is funny. See, back last spring, they were saying the drug dealers were taking turns paying for the harassment. Well, last fall, some lady up on in Akron by my Akron client, they were up there. You could hear them off in the distance. Some lady walked by, and I'm sitting outside with my client and said even some of the drug dealers they hired to watch her don't even find this funny. Did she do anything wrong before? No. The drug dealers already confessed they photoshopped everything on her before and made fun of the FBI that they fooled. And I went to her ex-husband. They did tell him that it was a medication error before. And he let all those people hurt her, and he didn't tell anybody. And they did tell him to sue those doctors. And he went ahead and let all those people hurt her. None of this is funny. And then she's trying to complain that she didn't know they drugged me and told me to say it. I'm like, you're trying to make excuses for participating, right? Huh? Right? Trying to make excuses. That was over the summer. Okay? I could actually go back through my notes and it'd be in my notes. Okay? August 22nd, 23, outside calls. My car's bugged. My phone's tapped. The main officer, a heavy-set white officer, he's Lamar Sharpamar, Michael Broswell, and Michael from CSE Bank, Canton police officers 19 and 20. They seen the cops in the back of the bank, my security team. People in the bank would say, "Karen's got her own security here. I wonder what's going on." Now, the Stark County Sheriffs would know who they are, and so would the North Canton Jackson Police because they were in the back of Liberty House Share. Okay. He's outside of Kohl's on August 22nd, 23. Okay? August 22nd, 23. I would say between 11 and 2. Mm-hmm. I'm walking between Kohl's and the shoe place with my client. He's out there real loud, echoing across the parking lot. He said, "No, this is funny. We weren't allowed to tell her the FBI left her up there." She said, "Did her ex-husband defend her?" He said, "Yes, we taped him. So did I. Defends me several times." Okay. She said, "Did anybody ever talk to her?" He said, "No." He said, "Then they really did frame her before." He said, "It's documented they framed her before." "Was it the drug cartel?" He said, "Yes, we've seen them." She's like, "No, this is funny. The FBI left her up there. We didn't realize it." I thought, what were you doing hiding in your office till they were gone? How could you not know? They were all over me. All over me. Huh? How could you not know? And he said, "It's documented. It was a medication error before that made her sick, and it's documented. Some other woman was using her insurance before." She's like, "None of this is funny. The FBI left her there." He said, "I know it's not." All right. September 17th, 23. It should be that day. Okay. I am in Target in the evening, about 6, 7 o'clock at night. September 17th, 23. They probably still have the tapes. A guy walks by me, and all these people are walking by yelling crazy, saying crazy crap to me. He said, "What are these people doing?" I looked her up. She's an informant. Okay. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office. They can't drop you. Okay. You're staying informant for life, or even when you tell. Okay? He said, and it's documented that her whole family defended her. Okay? And it's documented. Only one set of grandkids made up stuff for that one girl to get the house and everything, and that was it. And the rest of her family defended her. And the worst thing she ever did wrong was bend over improperly. They only seen the back of her knees. And it's documented some old man was drugging her up before. What are these people doing? I like to know what you're doing too. You're harassing a victim of being human trafficked. Okay? I like to know what you're doing. It's already documented. Carrying around the house, FBI informant. Please watch me. So they've already documented my whole family defended me. Okay? The one set of grandkids for Michelle to get the house, Pete's daughter. Okay? They made up some mean games to pretend, and that's it. And everybody else defended me, including the ass. Okay? And they verified they only seen the back of my knees. And one time, and I was dressed modestly, and some old man said he even drugged me up and told me to say wrong nightgown and belly. And they were admitting in front of the cops. They drugged me and told me to say it and whatever, all kinds of crazy crap. I used to spend half the day debunking what I'd wake up with bruises. How would you like to move into a new place? You go from well water to from city water to well water. You have to drink bottled water because the water is gross. Okay, but you bathe in it. You wash your dishes. Okay, and you're moving in, and you are even working outside. There's times you'll wake up and you're running and throwing up in the bathroom and think you're working too hard. Then you're thinking, where did I bang my arm? Oh, I'm really sick. Well, the next day you're better. Okay, then there are other times you're working out in the yard. You're fine. You come in, wash your hands, make yourself something to eat and drink. You have a 2-liter Diet Coke. Go in and use the bathroom. Come out, take a drink, and all of a sudden, boy, I don't feel good. Again. And you lay down and it happens again. And then you start getting a severe swollen personal infection. Go to the doctor. I don't even know what's wrong with me. I've got these bruises. I don't know where they're coming from. My muscles are killing me. My head's pounding. I almost even passed out from the neighbor. Now my personal area is affected. And because you've never seen anybody, you never talk to anybody, nobody thinks of a serial rapist breaking in and drugging you up and telling you to say stuff and beating, raping you. Even though you have all the signs of being drugged, beaten, raped. Okay? Nobody's putting it together that some sexual predator is violating you. Do you understand? Because you didn't see anybody. When I went over it with Altman Family Physicians, I said the summer of 18, I was seeing for migraine, a headache, throwing up, heart racing, dizzy, almost passing out, bruises I couldn't explain, muscle pain, and a severe swollen personal infection. Yes. I said I found out my ex-husband was having people break in and drug me with roofies, tell me to say something stupid like a weirdo stuff I've heard, and I never talked to anybody, and then beat and rape me. That's why I was infected and everything. They scrawled up their face and like, your ex-husband's a vile, sick animal. Why don't you people look at these people for the vile, sick animals they are? They should have been arrested the first day. Huh? Since when can men rape women? Drug them, stalk them, sell them on porn sites. Then they need to let Andrew Arabic out of jail. His wasn't even in that file and he got 15 years. What the hell are they putting Andrew Arabic in jail? Why on earth isn't Pete and Dave arrested the first day for confessing to a federal cop and offering him a bribe? In a fraud scheme. Sextortion scheme, actually. Huh? And who the hell let Dave out of the United States? He's a human trafficker. Like they said, the cops that watched me on August 30th, 23 at Fred Martin, he's part of a serial killing group. Who the hell let a serial killer out of the United States? See what I mean? Human trafficked me to the drug cartel. Why wasn't he arrested and done in protected custody? Because he paid that agent off. That's why November 20th, 23, Walmart 62, 8, 9 in the morning, a lady confesses that she told Will to take that payoff. She says, you can't take a bribe, take that bribe. You can't take a bribe. No matter what, you can't take a bribe to let somebody be victimized. No matter what. And we made sure she wouldn't get no money. You can't embezzle somebody's money either, honey. He confessed to life in federal. Like a security guard said on Friday. Got out of a vehicle with a guy. Um, and no one will say a word. They've confessed to stealing our money in here and taking a bribe. And the guy said, is that what's going on? He said, yeah, nobody will say a word to her. They've confessed in here to stealing her money and taking a bribe. Nobody will ever say a word to her. The drug cartel paid off a sheriff in Ohio $100,000 to let people be drugged, raped, taken, and sell their drugs in the area. Enough people went online and told on him. They came down and investigated. He's in jail. Everybody needs to go on the CIA, the Department of Justice, drop down to human trafficking online forum. They'll never contact you. They'll never contact you. Go on the NSA, National Security Agency, and tell them what you need. They'll never contact you. They'll just take care of it. They'll just take care of it. He's embezzling my money. They even told you October 6, 23, 8:45 to 9:15 in the morning, he's stealing it for his girlfriend. They have told you he's been stealing my money since January of 19, and they paid him off by January, March of 19. They actually paid him off before he before he called me back. That's why he was so rude to me. They paid him off. They fucking paid him off. That's why he's laughing at a rape victim that's being scammed. Huh? Everybody go online and turn them in. That's how you stop dirty cops from taking payoffs and ripping off. You know, he's embezzling from the federal government. And like an officer I talked to all this area, if that's what's going on there, you're not his only victim and you're not the first. And he's probably embezzling from all kinds of cases. And they're setting him up. And they're stealing from victims. And that's what they're doing. And until they can stop him, he'll keep doing it. Okay? See, that's where on a recorded line, he already confessed he talked to everyone. Talked to me like a crazy occult person. I've done the statement of how I had all the surgeries, my muscles locked up, went to the wrong doctors, a bunch of crackpots. Oh, people said around me today, it was a medication error, medical malpractice. What were people doing making fun of her? What were you doing making fun of me? What were you doing making fun of a rape victim? Just because somebody made a shitty lie up? Are you that stupid? Are you that bored that you have to harass a human trafficking victim? I'll tell you what, there's rape shelters. There's domestic violence shelters. Do you go hang outside there and catcall those women? Follow them around, harass them? Huh? Are you that pathetically disgusting and gross? Because what's the difference? Because on a recorded line, because where I told you I went to a bunch of crackpots, falsely diagnosed me, gave me the wrong meds. My feet swelled up, my legs were popping out of place, my knees were so swollen, went up into my waist, my heart got off, my thyroid quit working, my adrenal gland quit working, my brain started swelling. They wanted to do brain surgery, told me I had tumors, wanted to put a bag on my side, my stomach's bleeding from the meds. It took another doctor to tell on them. And that they were getting kickbacks from the drug companies and falsely diagnosing me and sharing me with their associates, and they're getting $200 to $1,000 kickbacks. And to get an attorney and sue them and get off that medication, you'll be fine. There's nothing wrong with you but your muscles locked up. It's a documented medication error, documented medical malpractice. Strange made up that shitty lie in November. I had got well in July, and that traffic accident happened in May. Oh, I blasted the Vegas again on Facebook. That they need to get mental help. And how did that agent even keep a straight face when they showed up in his office and said that they were the ones having me drug beat and raped? Because 15 years before that, their minister said I was faking. How did he keep a straight face and that it devastated their life? Why would it devastate their life? Her father devastated her life. Why? Because he did an arrogant stunt of running a stop sign in front of people. My whole family's at home. I had been working with a doctor for, 7 months, and I was almost well. of learning to rewalk again as all the swelling left and everything started working. It was all induced by the wrong medications. I was almost well. And her father does a stupid, cheap ass stunt and runs through a stop sign in front of a bunch of church people into a semi and kills himself and her son. And I have nothing to do with it. And 2 months later, I finally beat it. But 6 months later than that, November. Okay? No, it's 4 months after I get well and 6 months after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with. He thought I caught his son in adultery, so he makes up a stupid lie of faking you were sick. That's a baby lie. That's a baby lie. He could have told people I was a stripper, a car thief, a jewel thief, a bank robber. Would it affect her father running a stop sign? No, she needs to handle the disgrace and the grief of her father killing her kid. And not wanting to lash out and kill somebody had nothing to do with it. Huh? And how did that agent even keep a straight face? It didn't devastate you, your father killed your kid? It was 15 years before that? And you're not starting to heal from losing your son? And now you're starting to want to kill somebody because somebody said something about somebody? Are you serious? You're going to jail for this, and we'll get you some mental help. Because it screams psychopath. Because that's the only people that hunt people down and try to kill them. It's psychopaths. And for no good reason but for enjoyment. And he would know that. And he's trained to know that. He's trained to know that. The only people that hurt people and hunt them down to hurt them. And for no good reason, but they're hurting inside and they're making up excuses to hurt somebody. How did he keep a straight face? How did he not look at him and say, oh, come on now. You are playing me that it devastated your life. Some minister saying something about her. He wouldn't even know what was wrong with her. He's a minister, not a doctor. He's a minister. He could have said anything in the world. It had nothing to do with your father killing your kid. And you wanting to lash out and hurt somebody? You think I'm some kind of damn fool? You're playing me. Thinking that it devastated your life. Huh? You're playing me. You think I'm some kind of fucking fool. Oh, they thought he was the biggest fool on earth. Biggest fool on earth. Now I want you to think. I told you, after I had 4 attempts on my life, and all summer long I'm waking up with the bruises, getting sick, heart racing, throwing up, and you do realize they have admitted to a shower scene in the other room, and where the 6th day we're up there, somebody kicked in my door. And they're supposed to set up button cameras, and they're supposed to start stalking me. Dave hired his girlfriend's dad, Pete, on his own. Okay? Part of the Mexican drug cartel. The Florida group, human traffickers. By the second week, I almost passed out in front of the neighbors. I got marks all over me, bruises I can't explain. I kept saying, I don't know what's wrong with me. And here I've been drug beat and raped in my own home. They kept happening all summer long. And here they're drugging me up and telling me to say all kinds of crazy stuff, beating and raping me and human trafficking me out of my house under drugs so I wouldn't know what happened to me. So what the fuck was that FBI agent laughing at? The FBI agent Will and FBI agent John thinks it's funny human trafficking women. They think it's funny raping women. They think it's funny running sextortion schemes of photoshopping washing and date rape drug confessions. They think it's funny human trafficking women and children. Sex trafficking videos of them. They think it's funny selling kiddie porn. They think vile, evil crimes against women and children is funny because they admitted to putting a shower scene in the other room. And like they said, we all know they taped those little kids going potty and they sold it. They sold my grandkids on porn sites and he didn't arrest them. And he sold me on porn sites and he didn't arrest them. So they think it's funny. The FBI thinks it's funny hurting women and children, right? And scamming rape victim and human trafficking victims out of money, right? What the hell were they doing arresting Andrew Arabic for a sextortion scheme of photoshopping pictures and then making them dirty? And then trying to extort money in a sextortion scheme. He didn't even break in and drug, beat, and rape somebody. So what the fuck is he doing in jail for 12 to 15 years? When Pete and Dave should have been arrested the first day. He can't, like they said, that idiot can't hire a stalker. I told you, when I called the FBI hotline, I cried my eyes out, explained everything. Next day I woke up and the phone's ringing and they had drugged me up so bad I couldn't wake up all the way. Who's that? Go fall back to sleep. Rivers of tears. I kept saying I can't. I don't understand why I kept saying I can't. Stagger holding on to the wall, to the bathroom, to the refrigerator. Go back and lay down in bed, listen to the voicemail. This is Agent da-da, call me back. I can't. And I'd fall back to sleep. And I kept waking up from rivers of tears running down my face. Third day, I'm sitting on the front porch. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I feel drunk and I don't drink. It's a sign of a roofie wearing off. Date rape drugs. Amnesia drugs. Okay? All right. I go sit on the front porch. I try to get enough air in my face. I start mowing the lawn, trying to pace up and down the yard, trying to get enough air in my face. I have to call that guy back. I don't even know what to think to say. There's so much. And halfway through, I thought of Sarah. I gave the hotline her number from sales, how to get a hold of her old manager that went to work with Katie at Ashcroft and Oak, and her old co-worker that went to work with her. And all three of them heard that it had been them trying to kill me with the 4 attempts on my life. Call her, make sure she'll witness. Of course, Karen, I'm scared for you. I go out and buy her card, put that agent's number where he left it and a voicemail in it. Go down, make an excuse to go down to the mall for church, to go up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paul Paymer got in Dave's face. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off as Paymer's screaming, how dare you bring the FBI up here with threats on her life. Women walk up to me. He knows she's being drug, beaten, raped. And he said he didn't care. I've been covered in bruises, throwing up, lost 18 pounds. Severe swollen personal infection. My heart sank in my stomach. Is that what's going on? I go in and I sit down. They've come in. And they sit behind me. He said he knows she's being drug, beaten, raped. And he said he didn't care if she was going to be faking she was sick and thinking she got well while that family was grieving. Strange as a baby lie. He said he didn't care what they did to her. Can you imagine an agent saying that? My ex-husband said when I walked off that agent talked to him. He'd already been taped. Meeting with my ex-husband, witnessed by the Norton Barberton police telling on me. 300 to 500 people seen him tell on me and told them that. People up in Akron, we went over that church, he did tell those people he knew she was being drug, beaten, raped, and didn't care. None of this is funny. And where they had my house illegally bugged, they sold where Dave comes in, let's go. Okay? He said, let's go. We get out in the truck. He's like, I ought to kill you myself. And he punches me several times in the truck. I almost jumped out on the highway. Went for a loaded gun at one point. Ran from him. Next morning, I called that agent back. And I had him on speaker, sitting on the couch, crying my eyes out. Rivers of tears. Scared out of my mind. Everybody knows I called the FBI. Okay? I'm scared out of my mind. I've had 4 attempts on my life. And they randomly have waited months in between. So when you're not expecting it, they try. Okay? All right. Now they're showing back up here. And I'm scared they're here, and now they're bragging, even in the mall, it's them. Okay? I call that agent back, rivers of tears. I tell him somebody told on me. On a recorded line. He said, you liar. No, it's already verified it's him. That's why he didn't want the name of the church and look into how would they find out. Because he answers with his own mocking. I tell him, I said, but there was someone there last night. He called me a liar. He's like, and I said, well, there was a guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. He said, you liar. I said, well, he tried to kidnap me before. Terry Coberly seen him. Let me tape her with her permission. Okay? He had butchered Lori's from my second job. Her family member tied her up, cut her up in pieces, and had people laugh in her face how he murdered her. He's a serial killer for the human traffickers. Went on to take my house manager, Melissa's niece, and he's part of the drug traders, human trafficking, part of the Mexican drug cartel. He's a tall, white man with black hair, Latino descent. They know what he looks like. That's who he let go. That's who he let go. By the way, that's who he let go, a serial killer. He's like, you liar. Was there a camera above the bench? I don't know. You either say you're lying or I'll arrest you. I'm like, what? He's like, was there a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. You say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. Fine, whatever. Ah. Oh, I told a criminal attorney. His mouth dropped on me. He can't talk to you like that. That's what my friend from the police department said. I mean, from the prosecutor's office said, and other police departments. That agent can't talk to you like that. It's Department of Justice 1729, obstruction justice, tampering with evidence and tampering with witnesses. He goes to jail for that. He goes to jail. Okay? I told him, I said, he's like, now, golden ticket. You know, I play golden ticket. People playing golden ticket insurance company, trying to rip me off, falsely diagnosing me, give me wrong meds, made me sick and almost killed me. Do you want to talk about what you did wrong, Will, with the next part? I want you to say you were faking you were sick. It's ridiculous. Even though I told the attorney what was wrong with me, I said, you can't fake that shit. He's like, no, you can't. I got scars all over me. MRI reports showing the swelling. False diagnosis. Huh? Fentanyl patches? They don't get fentanyl. The fakers. They give it in the last part of cancer. Huh? I was in so much pain, my muscles were locked tight, and I had to move them to make them get enough blood flow into them so they'd relax, so I could build new muscle tissue. It took 9 months. I went through agony getting well. And for that bastard to make up such a stupid baby lie, baby lie, how could that agent even say it? Actually say it. I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. It's so stupid lie, it stranges. He's like, I said, but I really was sick before. He's like, you either say it or I'll leave you there. I said, they're going to kill me. So. They've tried to kill me. So. It's a sworn duty. You either say it or I'll leave you there. I got to the point I'm like crying my eyes out. Don't kill me. He's like, then you say it or I'll leave you there. I said, fine, just don't let him kill me. Ha, jackass. I'll tell you what, my client Navarre, her neighbor had the login. We all know she should have hung up on that guy and called somebody else. He needs to be arrested for that. He just confessed. He said, I've had that church people in my office and that family. And you need to realize what you've done by thinking you were sick before. What does this say? The people that are millionaires that were playing you because they have turned into serial killers and are sociopaths playing you. And you didn't laugh in their face that they were playing with you. Right? Those people, the church people that paid for the drug cartel to come here and they killed thousands of people, those people that are responsible for all those deaths, right? Those people, right? Had them in your office. What'd you just say? You had the Vegas in your office and the church people. Right, Will? So why would I stay quiet? You just actually just told on yourself. Like they said, people pulled the login in the fall. I was in Walmart on the strip. I could go back through my notes. Girls walking. We looked up the recorder line. Will, it's got ridiculous. Will did say he met with all those people. Yeah, he did. Now, why would the FBI help a person like you? They're going to try to kill me. So, they've tried to kill me. So, it's a sworn duty. Then the other agent yells out, we could use Pete's tape of Weird with Yourself. It's a shower scene of washing. And they have admitted that they photoshopped it. I talked to police out this area. They already know everything's digital. Everything could be photoshopped from words to scenes. They could take words out of sentences, put them together, make a new sentence, or they can move you from one room to the other. It's just clicking and pasting. My friend Jim, his son, edits movies for a living. He could actually move you from washing in the other room. He said he could even click, paste, and clothes on you so it looks like you're crazy washing with clothes on. He could put your head on somebody else's body. He could take the words out of a sentence, make a new sentence, and then tape over, make a whole new thing. And my friend Keith had a friend that worked at Facebook and said they were doing stuff like that, setting off fake crimes. Other people have heard of them doing stuff like that on Facebook years ago. Okay? It's a big scam to destroy people. Okay? I don't even know who Pete is. And only Pete I know is my brother Medina. And I said, what are you talking about? And he's like, stop, she don't know. Well, of course it's not. It's photoshopped. He said we could use Pete something, and it's supposed to be some kind of roofie confession, and I've never talked to him. I've never been questioned or wrongdoing. Never prosecuted, never found guilty. Now, I was raped and tortured July to September 19 in protective custody, and as they're smothering, beating, raping me, I finally said yes to anything before I passed out, and I don't even know what I confessed to, and that's not legal. Not even a little bit. And then you watch those motherfuckers beat the hell out of me and 3 men drug beat and rape me, and the one that's raping me pretends to be an FBI agent. We need to get him. Okay? All right. Everything else was bruised. Throwing up, a roofie Diet Coke. Do we understand that? I've never talked to anybody, and I never had these people in my home. All right? They were drugging the fucking hell out of me. If you watch the case, they do it after the case started. I lost 70 pounds in 5 months. After the case started, 18 before it started. 70 afterwards. Good thing I was fat. Okay? Alright. So, we're going to move on. He's laughing at me. Stop. She don't know. Dave told Danny he hired Pete on his own. His girlfriend's dad from the drug cartel. That's where the fake sodium pentothal reports of roofie confessions. You're sleepwalking. Like my coworker, Dar was taken from a bar. Willingly left with people. Friends said she was acting normal and talking fine, and she don't even remember meeting him. They said she took out a drink out of a drink, act a little happy, and a group of people came up. They didn't know and were talking to her, and she left with them. She found herself in a puddle of pee. Got home, and she was really sick the next day. Found out 2 months later she was pregnant. She's arguing with the doctor. I've not had sex with anybody. How could I be pregnant? Said it's not, I don't love my son, but I don't know what happened to me. Just like my neighbor Mike, I don't know how I got home. He didn't know how I got money in his pocket, what was in the box with mustard, or how he changed his shoes. Then tried to tell me he was a New York cop. When I told him he told me he was a New York cop, he started laughing. He said, I don't even remember saying that. I told people, I guess, in the middle of the second beer, I started telling people I was an astronaut. They had to lace my beer before I got it. You're sleepwalking. And I've talked to sheriffs all this area. They already know about it. I was talking to that criminal attorney. He said, I know all about roofies, and you are sleepwalking. They admitted in front of the police with the drugs they were using on me, they could control anybody for 4 to 6 hours. You do and say what you're told. And sheriffs out this area said they already know about those amnesia drugs. Okay? All right. So they just confessed they talked to Dave's girlfriend's dad that he hired on his own. He's already been taped meeting with Dave at Paymer's. And witnessed by the police. And apparently what they have been saying is Pete taped Will taking a payoff. That's what's going on. That's why they can make fun of the FBI for falling for it. They can dare him to fix it because they paid that agent off. The drug cartel paid off a sheriff in Ohio. He got arrested February 8th, 23. Was letting him run drugs, human traffic, and do all kinds of crimes in his county until enough people told on him. They investigated. He took $100,000 payoff. Okay? They paid off Will, and probably that lady too, and John. They made millions here. They sold over 1,072 children out of this area, not counting women. They ran Harry Carey down here until the sheriffs and marshals out of this area picked up the case, and they went after him hard and heavy. And they got 800 drug traders human trafficking me. They were caught on police surveillance tapes around me and on legally bugged car, phone, and then the undercover police followed me around, bragging their crimes in front of the cops, and they got them. It's a nationwide human trafficking scam. The Kingsmen from Texas, the M13 Mexican drug cartel, the Detroit boys, the Gentleman's Club from Florida, Henry Maffei. They were all here. The Michigan, the New York, Buffalo, New York, California, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia human traffickers. They were breaking their crimes in front of everybody. Everybody. Okay? And the police got them, and they followed them back to their big guys and got them. Got a lot of big guys off this case. All right. So that agent's like, why would the FBI help a person like you? They're going to try to kill me. So give me a real reason. Why tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig, that died working at the, for Dick Cheney. He was actually CIA. Okay. He's like, well, I can take you somewhere and leave you with no money. I don't have money to start. He's like, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can open an informant program. Comes with $5,000 a month. Um, and I said, well, I can do that. A crazy husband and crazy cult people who try to kill me. They're already bragging. It'll be over real quick. He'll get them real quick. They're already bragging. They're already confessing to people. It'll be over real quick. I thought, I can do this. I can hold on just a little bit longer, and that way nobody else gets hurt. You know what I mean? That way it'll stop from anybody else from dying. And I can do this. And he's like, well, I'll make sure no man touches you. I'll pull you out if it gets too bad. No, he's already confessed he talked to everyone. Okay? He's already confessed in his own words, mocking me. He's already talked to everyone. He said, I'll pull you out if it gets too bad. Um, no man will ever touch you. I'll make sure of it. Okay? He said, and even when you tell, you'll have that money to live on. When you move out, admit to no, and you can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case, and you'll have that money to live on. Okay? And even when you tell, admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone, I'll list you crazy. I told my friend from the prosecutor's office, he laughed till he had tears. He said that agent cannot bully you into false statements. The police know they can't go along with it. He said, and he can't ask you to stay quiet. It's a freedom of speech. He's only a higher police officer. He could not even ask you to stay quiet. He don't have that kind of authority. He was only bullying you, Karen. And the police would know that. I talk to police all this area. He is only a police officer. And he doesn't have that kind of authority. And why didn't your local police arrest him and that retired judge the first day? They should have been, and you should have been put in a safe house. And they should have went to jail. They can't do any of that. And he should have been arrested for the way he talked to you. I talked to a criminal attorney, and where my friend from the prosecutor's office took him 30 seconds, Karen, it's a fraud scheme. See that? I was talking to a criminal attorney. He can't talk to you like that. He is only a police officer. He cannot bully you in false statements, and he cannot ask you to stay quiet. He doesn't have that kind of authority. He is only higher police officer. And they do have to, where my friend from the prosecutor's office, they have to pay you the rest of your life if you agree to help give them information on somebody. If you work 5 minutes a case, an hour a case, they have to pay you the rest of your life. And they have to protect you. They can put you in another witness protection program, but they have to speak to you first. You don't realize you're in a witness protection program. Formats are different because you work as a spy for them, feeding them information. They have to protect you because you risk your life to help them. They can't ever let you go. The Department of Justice will put them in jail. And see, that's what that criminal attorney said. They can't stop your money from coming in. They can't withhold it. He can't ask you to stay quiet, and he can't talk to you like that. I got a friend in a federal office. I'm going to see if they can help. Huh? And I'd like to know who the hell let Dave Hall out of. I'd like to know who let him out of the country. He admitted to a federal officer he was human trafficking me. He had hired a hitman to drug beat and rape me. Who let him out? They were admitting that they were taping in the bathrooms. They obtained and dispensed kiddie porn, and my grandkids used in the bathroom. He was sex trafficking videos of me and human trafficking me under drugs. And he may be part of 2 murders up there. They said they killed 2 outside on the gunshot night. Huh? And who the hell let him out of the country being a serial killer and a human trafficker? Huh? He beat me with internal injuries, sexually assaulted me in front of the police. Huh? Who the hell let him out of the country? He's a human trafficker. August 30th, 23, and Fred Martin, one of the officers assigned to me, told Fred Martin my ex-husband, my ex-husband was part of a serial killing group. And they asked if I was part of it, and he said no. They even tortured her. I seen him. But her ex-husband's part of a serial killing group. Why would they let a serial killer out of the country? And the police told him I wasn't part of it, that they even tortured me and they seen him. See, that's where the whole thing of it is. They've documented everything. From them admitting to photoshopping everything and date rape drugging everything, including making fun of everyone, including the FBI. And made everything up on me before. And they run around telling people the most crazy ass lies, and people fall for their shit left and right, and it's a drug cartel lying to them. Told you I would talk to a criminal attorney. They can't do any of that. That's where Officer Reinhardt and Louisville, even the FBI, would go to jail being in your home outside a protected light case with statements. And that agent had agreed to protect you and have statements of the threat of life for the Department of Justice put them in jail. It's entrapment if police or agencies do it. That's where the Portage County Sheriff's, the Ravenna Police, the prosecutor's office is a fraud scheme. And it is illegal, and it is the Fourth Amendment. And it is the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. That agent is only a police officer. He can't ask you to stay quiet. It takes a sitting judge to put a gag order on you. See, that's where the whole thing of it is. That agent scamming people, and where an officer out of this area was talking to him. He said, if that's what's going on in your area, you are not that only agent's victim. He is scamming other people out of their witness protection program money. And he's cutting deals. He has to be, because you can't be his first victim and the only one. And he's ripping off the government and stealing from victims. See, even a criminal attorney, Pete had no right watching you, had no right in your home. He can't do that. And I told him about all those stuff. He can't do that. That agent can't talk to you like that either. He can't ask you to stay quiet. Last year, an FBI agent tried to tell an informant how to state that they couldn't say anything. They got an attorney, and they sued him. And it went nationwide. And the press was calling for the FBI to be shut down. If that agency ever thinks they can tell anyone they can't say anything, they need to shut them down. They're only law enforcement. They're Federal Bureau of Investigators. They're only a police department. They're only a police department. They don't have that kind of authority. They're only a higher police department. He acknowledged he already talked to everyone. Like people who have complained, Will bullied her into saying she was fake and she was sick. That's not funny he did that. And it's not funny. He bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. Even November 24, 22, the Canton police were talking to the nurse that took care of me when they were talking about Eric making fun of everybody. November 18, 22, for falling for his stunted tapes before at Walmart 62. November 24, 22, ID'd as Eric, Mercy Medical. They were talking about the case. The nurse and the Canton police officer said, we all heard that Eric made fun of us for falling for his stunted tapes before and how we fell for it, and he was mocking all of us. Nobody should say a word to her again. Said, well, you know, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. Do you know how many people have complained from Hartville to Canton that the FBI made fun of her for being human trafficked? The FBI made fun of her for being drugged, being raped. And because they were using amnesia drugs, she didn't know what was happening to her. It's not funny they made fun of her for that. They need to fire those idiots. Teenagers were pissed. Everybody go online. And you know how you stop a dirty cop from taking payoffs? Do you know how you stop a dirty cop from stealing from victims' funds? You turn them in. Enough people go online, they'll never call you. They'll never call you. They'll send somebody down here to investigate. And by the way, who is the guys in Marks? It's a lot better day. Yeah, the drug cartel didn't show up to harass me. I don't know where they went, if they're just shocked they fled the country, or if they're planning something else. Even some lady off in the distance said they didn't show up tonight. I know they did. I don't know why. That one guy across my clients in North Canton ran out and said, I feel horrible about everything. I found a tape of them admitting they made everything up on her. Oh, they admitted they photoshopped everything too. 2 weeks ago on Sunday, I was in Alliance, Longhorn Steakhouse. You can watch people come in, and they got cameras in there. An investigator from Ravenna showed up. A guy in a black Sebring has been investigating this over 5 years. Okay. It said he showed up from Ravenna. Said that they already taped him admitting they photoshopped everything before on her and made everything up on her. Don't say a word to her. Well, he was the one following me on February 2nd, 22, in Burlington Coat Factory. A Latino man for the drug cartel admitted he drugged me first and told me to say it. People ran in Save-A-Lot out on 6th Street, across from my client's apartment. There's a brown house. The African American man ran out and yelled it to the postman. Postman's like, we all heard it because they sold the locket. Okay. And he pulled up next to me. I seen her out. He's on the phone with somebody. I seen her out today. I found out that that bastard really did drug her and tell her to say it before. They also have taped these people admitting to photoshopping everything and making everything up on me. My whole family spoke highly of me, including the asshole. And the one set of grandkids were making everything up for Auntie Shell and Papa to get the house. They're documenting me games to pretend. That they're just mean jokes. My whole family defended me. It's not funny that the drug cartel ran a big sex extortion scheme down here. And all these idiots, people fell for it. And that agents taking payoffs and then scamming people out of their witness protection program money. And I can guarantee if they go back through their cases, I'm not the only one. Like an officer said, you can't be the first time he did it. And you can't be the only one he's stealing and putting it in his pocket and putting it in side accounts. Setting himself up to be a millionaire. There's no difference of him doing that or walking into a drug bust and seeing bags of money from the drug bust and shove it in his jacket. Stealing is stealing. This is worse. He's stealing from victims and stealing from human trafficking victims and rape victims and taking payoffs to let that poor victim be drugged, beaten, raped, and human trafficked. My friend from the prosecutor's office said Starr County had a trouble in the area that agents and officers were taking backdoor deals to let people get victimized and killed here. And they would have to either fix it in the prosecutor's office or they'd have to wait for someone else to pick up that case and fix it. Because that poor victim keep getting victimized or end up dead because they were taking payoffs.